It's time to go beyond the headlines, cause I don't put in overtime just so I can headline. Okay, now it's Fox Sports, I'm live with Renee. Going hard every day, sports rapping every play. Different segments for your favorites, coming at you daily with positive vibes, yeah, we some game changers. Basketball, football, soccer, with different interviews, you never know who may pop up. Listen, only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington.
We cannot talk about what happened this past week in college football without getting into week 6 of the NFL. Starting Thursday night, the Patriots, no surprise there with a win over the Giants as they remain undefeated, one of our final undefeated teams. The other undefeated team, the 49ers, with a 14-point win over the Rams. Then we saw Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans held scoreless as the Broncos shut them out 16-0. And how about Deshaun Watson? He looked more like a running back at times in the Texans' win over the Chiefs, finishing with 4 touchdowns in the game. We saw Casey Keenum return to the field. He threw for 2 touchdowns, and the Redskins win over the Dolphins. That was a battle between the bottom of the barrel, 2 winless teams, and it came down to just 1 point as Washington got that win. Russell Wilson also off to a strong start with an MVP-like season so far, finished with 3 touchdowns in the Seahawks win over the Browns. It is the first time since 2013, the 13-3 Super Bowl season, that the Seahawks are 5-1 going into week 7. And it's only the 3rd time ever in franchise history that they've started 5-1. So hats off to them. The Browns continue to struggle. Offensively couldn't get things going as the Seahawks defense shut them down. And I wish the Eagles defense looked like the Seahawks defense at times, but as an Eagles fan, I can openly say the Eagles' loss to the Vikings was terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But the silver lining, the Dallas Cowboys also lose to the Jets. And I loved what I saw on Twitter. Someone posted, you can't spell Dallas without back-to-back L's. That's awesome. That is awesome. And I'm hoping it's another L this upcoming week as we have an NFC East showdown. My Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Can't wait for that one. And Monday night, we saw Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Another close game. A lot of close games this past week. They defeated the Detroit Lions 23-22. So without further ado, you know what time it is. It's time for Will's Fantasy Footballers to see who he has for Fantasy Footballers for a player to watch this week as we get into week 7 of the NFL.
Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another exciting installment of Will's Fantasy Footballers. Auden Tate, wide receiver from the Cincinatti Bengals, I think will be a great third receiver or flex position player this week. Let's look at his rock solid stats for the past 4 weeks. 6 for 88, 4 for 50, 3 for 26 and a touchdown. And last week, 5 receptions for 91 yards as the Cincinnati Bengals continue to be one of the most pass-happy teams in the league. Now, if you go back and look at the highlight reel, those 5 receptions were marvelous as he continues to just be productive for the Bengals, despite the fact no A.J. Green, no John Ross. Now, A.J. Green should be back in a few weeks, but John Ross is still out on the IR, gone for the year. He'll be your second receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, we also have 4 teams out on a bye, so I think this would be a fantastic player for you. They play Jacksonville in week 7. Jalen Ramsey looks like he's going to miss another game. I think this would be a fantastic pick for you this week. Well, thank you guys. See you in week 8. Back to you, Renee, and everyone, take care.